Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Glow Up Guide. So, today's episode is going to be like stuff you can do this upcoming year to really like level up and make this your year. We could all use some ideas for what to do this upcoming year, kind of like a plan, I guess. I don't know. This is also a reminder to do those little things like make a vision board, for example. I haven't done mine yet, even though I said I would. So, that's something I really need to get started on. Like set your goals, do your reflection. Also, go listen to like the other New Year's episodes because all the episodes make more sense if you listen to all of them. So I definitely recommend that you listen to those. Okay, yeah. So before moving on, let's do one thing we're grateful for and one thing we're happy about, plus our book of the week. So one thing I'm grateful for is just like my friends, I guess. I don't know. Um, that's just something kind of self-explanatory. And then one thing I'm happy about this week is at least right now, my hair. My hair right now looks so flipping good. Like I am so happy right now. It looks so good, and it's been like a month of me doing curly hair routine and like curly hair stuff, and it's finally starting to like show, and I'm finally starting to get like actual ringlets kind of at the ends of my hair, and it looks really good. And there's like a lot less frizz too, and I don't know, it's just like more defined, less frizz. Um, it just looks really good too. So that's something I'm happy about. And then our book of the week is Funny Story by Emily Henry. I just finished reading it like before recording this. I was reading it. And let's see here. I'm gonna read the thing that says in the inner cover. Daphne always loved the way her fiance Peter told their story, how they met on a blustery day, fell in love over an errand hat, and moved back to his lakeside hometown to begin their life together. He really was good at telling it, right up until the moment he realized he was actually in love with his childhood best friend, Petra, which is how Daphne begins her new story. Stranded in beautiful Wading Bay, Michigan, without friends or family, but with a dream job at a children's library as a children's librarian that barely pays the bills, and proposing to be roommates with the only person who could possibly understand her predicament, Petra's ex, Miles Nowak. Swarthy and chaotic, with a penchant for taking solace in the sounds of heartbreak love ballads, Miles is exactly the opposite of practical, buttoned-up Daphne, whose coworkers know so little about her. They have a running bet that she's either FBI or in witness protection. The roommates mainly avoid each other until one day, while drowning their sorrows, they form a tenuous friendship and a plan. If said plan involves posting deliberately misleading photos of their summer adventures together, well, who could blame them? But it's all just for show, of course, because there's no way that Daphne would actually start her new chapter by falling in love with her ex-fiance's new fiance's ex, right? So it's a really good book. Definitely recommend that you read it. Yeah, it's just really, really good. And on the back it says like if you guys like Colleen Hoover, I think you would really like Emily Henry books. Honestly, like I know a lot of people that love Colleen Hoover books. So do I. Um, you should definitely read these. Taylor Jenkins Reid too. She wrote Malibu Rising and The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, both of which I think I've mentioned on this podcast. So definitely recommend you read if you like those two because I don't know, their names are mentioned on the back. Plus, it's like I don't know, it's kind of like similar to those books. I don't know. But yeah, definitely a really good book. You should definitely read it. And I kind of flip-flop this around, but we're gonna do it anyway. So I usually do like my podcast and life updates before I do my like grateful happiness book of the week. But we're gonna flip-flop it because I kind of spaced. Anyways, the podcast updates literally nothing, and then life. I had a dentist appointment on Thursday. That was not fun. They just told me I needed surgery again, and they kept like explaining stuff. I guess I don't know. I'm supposed to continue with my Invisalign treatment, which is gonna run till I'm like a little over 16 and a half. Not 16 and a half. I thought they said 13 and a half. 15 and a half. It's gonna run until I'm about 15 and a half. Yeah. So not fun. I'm still scheduled to get surgery at some point in my life. I'm probably just gonna end up doing it when I'm like 25. So, yeah, anyways, that was not fun. And then I hung out with some friends yesterday who I haven't seen in a while. Well, like one friend I haven't hung out with in a while. So that was fun. What else? Pretty much it. My one friend, she has curly hair, and me and my other friend, we did a curly hair routine on her, and that took a good chunk of our time. And we also made brownies. I just ate one of the brownies, and they turned out so good. Considering the fact they're eggless, probably like one of the best things I've ever baked. Considering they're eggless, and usually everything I bake eggless kind of just either A just completely falls apart. Most of the things I bake actually do fall apart because the egg like kind of holds the stuff in it together. I don't know, holds the dessert together. But without the egg, it just kind of falls apart. I mean, I tried, but like, yeah, they turned out really good though. Tastes really good. So yeah, what else? Yeah, that's pretty much it. Moving on. Okay, so first thing, like having a consistent morning and night routine slash sleep schedule, like becoming a morning girly. Early mornings and early nights if you want to make sure you get enough sleep and you wake up on time and become a morning girl. Having a consistent sleep schedule is really important. This is coming from someone whose sleep schedule has been completely messed up for over a year at this point, but still. There are nights where I go to bed at 9 and don't actually fall asleep until 3. There are nights where I wake up at 5 or more time. Well, not at 5, wake up 5 or more times throughout the night. There are nights where I go to bed at 11 and just can't fall asleep. Or literally, like a mix of literally everything, but good sleep. Like, that will not happen. So that's fun. But I do want to wake up earlier, at least for school. Plus, fixing my sleep schedule. But then there was winter break and all of these snow days, and my mom stopped caring about our sleep schedules, and we all went to bed at 11 every night. Not exactly great, but I think that if you can, you should try waking up earlier. Some people are just night people, and that's something that's normally hardwired, and that's okay. Age also has a heavy influence on someone being a morning person or a night person. Children are usually morning people. Adolescents, like me, are like night owls, and most older adults tend to be morning people-ish. And I feel like this makes sense. Maybe my age just has something to do with it. Because I was like 11 when I had my waking up early phase, and I kind of stopped once I was almost 13, I think. I can't really think about it, but it lasted a few years. And now I just can't wake up early anymore. So that's probably my age probably has something to do with it. Anyways, and in this case, I mean morning people, as in someone who wakes up and goes to bed on the earlier side, not someone who wakes up at 4 in the morning every single day, because that's like really early. So my age is probably why I struggle so much with waking up early, but it has so many benefits, and I would know because I woke up consistently at 6 every morning for 2 years. I had so much more energy, and it was like obviously easier to fall asleep at night. Plus, you have more time in the morning, which is helpful to me considering the fact that I do love my family, but they are loud, like loud. So to wake up early, you need to have a consistent sleep schedule that makes sure you get enough sleep. Don't have a sleep schedule that's like, okay, I'm gonna go to bed at 11 and wake up at like 5 in the morning. I think that's 6 hours of sleep. That's not enough. Um, Most people who think they have learned to function on very little sleep are just used to the like negatives of being chronically sleep deprived. So if we don't want to be chronically sleep deprived, that's not good. Um, I do think this is something that's maybe like in for 2025 because waking up early just has so many benefits. And I have an episode on morning routines and another episode on how to become a morning person, plus another one on night routines. So you should definitely listen to those three too if you want, if like waking up early is something you're considering. I honestly think it's something everyone should consider unless you're like, I don't know, just not a morning person. Like even based on your age and that stuff, if you're just not a morning person, then like don't, because that's just gonna make everything worse. You're probably just gonna get even less sleep by waking up early. So I would not recommend that. Anyways, I need to stop going in circles. Next thing to do to level up in 2025 is decluttering your life. Stuff is everywhere. You can probably name a bunch of things in your space off the top of your head that you really don't need. I was thinking about doing an episode on like 100 things that you can get rid of right now to declutter your life. That might be a fun episode that I do maybe in the spring. I don't know, inspiring spring cleaning. Unimportant. Moving on. Less is more. We all have a pile of stuff that we simply refuse to throw away, but deep down, we know we don't really need it. We need to make physical space for ourselves to really transform. In the book Better Than Before by Gretchen Rubin, which I'm reading right now. She talks about her foundational four, which are four groups of habits that she believes makes all other kinds of habits easier, which I think is definitely true. One of those is declutter. You clean your room, you feel like you can become a millionaire and start a business or something. I don't know, but decluttering is so much more important than we all realize. Rebranding ourselves this upcoming year needs space, like physical space, so we can make room for the best version of ourselves. Clearing out the material things that you no longer need or that no longer serve you, that can really help you in life. Maybe you just have a ton of shoes you don't need or clothes that don't fit anymore. Donate them to charity or sell them on eBay or Poshmark if they're in good enough condition. You can make some money for the new you too. When I say declutter, I don't mean just like your material things. I also mean those friendships you don't need, social media, photos, all that stuff. Think of it as clearing the room, clearing the stage for a brand new you. Our space, it has a lot of influence on us as a person, so we want to make sure it's a good space that serves us well and not the other way around. We should not be serving a space that just does not make sense. A good way to declutter your material things is the KonMari method. There are 5 categories that go in order: clothes, books, paper, kimono, which is just all the miscellaneous stuff, and finally sentimental items. The the spark okay the KonMari method is based off of decluttering by category and not by location, and I think this is really effective. Keep only the items that spark joy in you and that actually serve a good purpose. She has 2 books, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up and Spark Joy, plus 2 Netflix shows by the same names. I have read and watched both of those, well, 4 of those, whatever, and I definitely think you should too. Or you can use your own method or methods of decluttering, just whatever works for you. Starting small always works. You can clear out one drawer or delete one app or one photo and eventually tackle it all. I feel like people almost never actually do like a good life decluttering. I think once every 6 months is good. Or at least when like New Year's rolls around, there's just way too much stuff, no matter what kind of stuff in our lives that we just really don't need. Next thing, figure out your style. How we dress is a big part of who we are. People can determine a lot about you just based on what you wear. People think that I am like constantly depressed based off of what I wear, but that's unimportant. So make sure what you're wearing reflects who you are or who you're striving to be. You can start by figuring out how you want your outfits to make you feel. Maybe you want to feel confident or classy or chic or effortless, whatever it is. Figure that out for yourself. Based off that, you can build a wardrobe that reflects you, even if it's just a few pieces of carefully chosen clothing. Always focus on quality over quantity. You should try and figure out your body type and find clothes that suit you based off of that. There's tons of YouTube videos on it. Like, I've seen so many YouTube videos these days on like how to figure out your body type and dress based on that. Plus, figuring out your face shape is another thing. You can figure out how to do makeup to suit your specific face shape and the makeup and hairstyle, and like you can make sure that hairstyles that also suit your face shape. Just make sure that the clothes you buy and the makeup and hairstyles that you wear are actually flattering and look good on you. I know that's something I definitely want to do. I want to figure out my like body type and how to dress for that, and also same thing goes for my face shape because I'm like trying to get into makeup, but yeah, like very minimal makeup, not like full blown makeup. Like I just want to learn. I don't know. Anyway, there's so many fast fashion companies these days. For those of you who don't know what fast fashion companies are, these are like companies like Shein and Forever 21 that produce cheap quality clothes and sell them very cheap too. Almost all the big clothing brands are fast fashion. Personally, I want to stay away from fast fashion, but that's essentially impossible for me because my mom buys my clothes and I don't got a lot of money to spend on that, so not fun. But fast fashion companies are built on things that we don't want to support, so we shouldn't. It may feel unnecessary to spend more money on quality pieces, but it will be so worth it, and honestly, these quality pieces are technically cheaper in the long run. If you buy one pair of really good jeans for $100, and that saves you more money than buying a new pair of jeans for $30 every few months. So yeah, in the long run, they really save you money and are cheaper, so that's a good reason to buy them. Quantity won't matter if all the clothes rip apart and fall apart after just one wash. Another thing I really don't get is people buying clothes that are too small just for the sake of, like, I don't know, fitting back into clothes. Like, they're hoping that they'll lose enough weight or something and, like, they'll fit into those clothes. That's just called wasting money. It's just so stupid, and I don't get it, and I never will. So buy clothes that actually fit you well and suit your figure. Accessories can also add a personal touch to your outfits and, like, mix them up. A t-shirt and jeans can look a whole lot, like, fancier if you just add some earrings and a bracelet. Coming from experience. So add some jewelry or whatever accessories you prefer. Play around with your outfits by mixing and matching things around. Another thing is, no matter what your style is, have some versatile basics. Things like neutral t-shirts, jeans, and hoodies will work for just about everything. My very basic wardrobe essentials are looser tees in neutral colors, fitted tees in neutral colors, some basic hoodies and sweatshirts, sweaters, I guess, too, if that's your thing. I don't really like sweaters, but yeah. Black jeans, mid-wash jeans, light wash jeans, and if you want black wash jeans, I own those too, but I don't wear them as much. Plus, a good pair of sneakers or just everyday shoes. That's it. Every single girl should own at least these few things. And another thing, I guess, is also like a good pair of earrings or just one specific accessory that you really love. Like, I have this one pair of earrings that I really love. Maybe you have a bracelet or a necklace, just whatever it is, just one piece of jewelry that you really love, at least that. Next thing, fix your food. I mentioned this in last week's episode, but the phrase "you are what you eat" is very true. Earlier this past year, me and my mom watched this show or documentary, I think that's what it is, and it's called "You Are What You Eat" on Netflix. It's a must watch if you have Netflix because it's actually really interesting and it taught me a lot about, like, how what we eat impacts us. It's about this experiment conducted on multiple pairs of identical twins. In these sets of twins, one twin is put on an omnivore diet, so a mix of, like, plant-based foods and meat, and then the other is put on a vegan diet, both for 8 weeks. During that time, multiple tests and things are conducted by doctors and scientists and researchers to find the real impact of what we eat on our brain and health and many other parts of us. A very good show. But what we eat is very important. These days, lots of people do have access to healthy food, but sometimes people just don't have the time to make healthy meals. Others may not have the money, or the other junk food options like freezer meals seem a lot more tempting. But the thing is, there are tons of healthy options that are actually delicious. You just have to find stuff you like. All over Instagram, there are so many, like, healthy versions of sweets. I saw this like recipe for brownie bites that was made up of a base of, like, bananas or avocados. I can't remember. Some mushy fruit. Yeah. Um, but with these, you can't even taste the healthy stuff in them. Or just, like, make some healthier food swaps. Maybe you have dark chocolate instead of milk chocolate. And honestly, some people just like dark chocolate better. I know I'm one of those people, so just, like, stop buying milk chocolate. Or you can make your own chips instead of eating a bag of Doritos. Things like that can make a huge difference. 80-20 is a good way to live. Most people don't understand this method, but 80-20 is really it for food. If you eat only healthy for, like, the whole week, not a single piece of junk food, not even one M&M, you're probably going to eat a bunch of sweets and a whole pizza over the whole weekend because you're just sick of always eating healthy. You're just like, I can't take this anymore. You can live a little and have a brownie, it's not going to kill you. So try your best to eat healthy most of the time. But you can have a piece of candy now and then. That's what I do, and I think that's the reason I've been able to stick with not eating a lot of sugar. If I had to eat no sugar forever, I would probably cry and just quit because that's just sad. So 80-20. That's how you can make sure you actually stick to those healthy eating habits. Or if it's just easier for you to not eat sweets than eat them in moderation, that's fine too. In the book Better Than Before by Gretchen Rubin, she talks about abstainers versus moderators. Abstainers find it easier to just say no to themselves and forget about it. Moderators find it easier to stick with a habit by indulging once in a while. A good example of the difference between the two is abstainers find it easier to say no to chocolate, while moderators can eat less sugar if they have some from time to time, like eating a piece of chocolate every day. Many people are a mix of both. I'm mostly an abstainer though. It's easier for me to eat no sugar in a day than have some and spend forever trying not to eat more. Anyways, even if it's just one change in your diet, like how I don't really eat much sugar, it can really change everything. I know it has for me, and honestly, it's unconsciously impacted, like, other parts of my diet that I don't even realize. Number 5 or 6, I think it's 6 though, is exercising regularly. I literally mention how important exercise is in every single one of my episodes. Now, so if you don't get why it's important, even now, then I hate you and you have not listened to enough of my episodes. But exercise helps to regulate our sleep patterns, get stronger, maintain a good weight, have less body pains throughout the day. It can be fun, it can be a group activity, it can make you some friends, so much more. I started working out to build endurance, so lots of cardio and HIIT workouts because I wanted to improve my stamina for soccer because I have asthma and other problems that make it hard to breathe, mainly while doing intense exercise like running. I could barely run for a minute before essentially dying. Then I stopped working out for a while. Somewhere in that period of time, I found out that exercising to build muscle can help you gain weight. And my whole life, I've been underweight. So I gave it a shot. Gained 13 pounds in 4 months and also looked half as thin. I've changed my exercise routines a lot since then. Now I run 5 times a week, strength train twice a week, do body weight workouts a few times a week, stretch every day, and walk on the days that I don't run. I get exercise every day because I'm young and I need exercise every day, but I have this kind of like active rest days where I just walk for 45 minutes and stretch for 15 minutes. And it took me a while to find an exercise routine that actually worked for me. And it's going to be the same for you. Finding things out about yourself always takes time, plus a dump ton of trial and error. When you start, it doesn't really matter what exactly you do as long as you just move. You can walk or stretch or do yoga or lift weights, or you can do dance cardio or HIIT workouts, literally whatever. And if you don't like traditional exercise, you can join a sports team or find some friends and go play frisbee or pickleball or basketball. There are literally a bajillion ways to get in some exercise. And it doesn't matter how long you're exercising as long as you're simply moving around. So you don't have to be sitting for an hour and a half just for it to be a good workout. Sometimes a 20-minute walk is enough. I like to do different kinds of exercise and push myself and do hard workouts. Some people hate intense cardio or HIIT workouts. If that's you, then you don't go ahead and sign up for an hour and a half long intense cardio workout class because you are going to want to die afterwards. Do not do that to yourself. Or if you love that kind of stuff like me, go right ahead and sign up for the class. Do forms of exercise you actually like. I do what I like. Just because everyone on social media, literally everyone talks about how like amazing Pilates is and how much they love it, doesn't mean I'm going to do it. Doesn't mean I'm gonna love it too. I tried a Pilates style workout and absolutely hated it. It was so boring and honestly really freaking hard. But I just hated everything about it. It was not fun for me. And just because everyone else is doing it doesn't mean I'm going to. That is the reason I can stick with a habit of exercise. It's because I like it. I actually look forward to working out, to going on my runs, to going on my walks, to stretching, to whatever different forms of exercise I do. There is like about a few days a year, maybe 5 days a year, where I genuinely do not feel like working out. Some more days I don't feel like working out, but I push myself to do it anyways. But yeah, I do what I like, and I do what I like works for me. So no need to do what everyone else in the world seems to be doing. Just move. That's literally it. Just move. Having like a maintenance routine or a beauty routine. So either 6 or 7. Um, I actually have a whole episode on beauty routines, so definitely go check that out if you haven't done so, because you'll get what I mean a lot more. But having some sort of beauty routine is really important. You don't have to go get your hair done or your nails done every week or something, but just something simple that you can do every day to maintain yourself. Self-care is a completely different thing. It's just like completely different based on the person. Maybe it's getting your eyebrows done or your hair and nails or washing your hair a certain way, filing your nails or buffing them, shaving, whatever it is. It does not matter. Lip scrubs or lip masks, face masks, hair masks. There's a ton of things in a girl's maintenance routine, but that routine plays a huge role in our confidence, and not just because of the way you look, but also the way you feel. Like you just feel better when you take some time to take care of yourself and like do some self-care. I have things that I do daily and weekly for my beauty routine. So I brush my teeth, I do my hair roughly, shower, get dressed, then put on moisturizer and redo my hair nicely. Like this is just stuff I do before school, by the way. Because the shower messes it up for some reason, even though I don't get my hair wet. And then I do my makeup, literally just curling my lashes and lip treatment plus lip gloss. Maybe I'll do some blush if I have the time or if I feel like it. Usually not though. After that I put on perfume and that's literally it. Weekly things I do are shaving. I shave once a week or once every 2 weeks. I have been slacking like crazy because it's winter and nobody really cares. Like I'm wearing sweatshirts and jeans most of the time. I don't think anyone's gonna see my arms or legs, so like I literally just refuse to care. First, I exfoliate using a Tree Hut tree scrub. I use the vitamin C one, and then I put on shaving cream, and then I shave, and then afterwards I put on like a mixture of baby oil and moisturizer. This is a trick I learned on Pinterest, and it works so well. Plus, my hair. I wash it with shampoo and conditioner most days. Not most days, on Sundays, and I do my curly hair routine after that, which is just leave-in, curl cream, and then gel. And that I do twice a week. That's my beauty routine or my maintenance routine or whatever you want to call it. There's also like DIY face masks you can try. My all-time holy grail DIY face mask is 2 tablespoons of yogurt and 2 teaspoons of honey. This brightens your skin and is also so good if you have acne. It evens out your skin tone. It's good for dry skin because the yogurt hydrates your skin. Lactic acid in the yogurt exfoliates a little bit. It's great for a lot of skin issues. There's about 400 million recipes for DIY face masks for every skin concern you can think of, and they work so much better than the store-bought ones and are also cheaper. Dry brushing is apparently really good to improve circulation, which improves your skin health. Another thing you can try, just do whatever. Okay, so now let's talk about leveling up mentally. First thing being educate yourself about just stuff. Learn things and learn skills. I feel like everyone, including myself, always takes school for granted. There are people, tons and tons of people that would kill to be in your place and have such an easy access to good education. We're all like, I don't want to go to school, I don't want to learn. But that's something we thankfully get to do. It's an opportunity and a privilege that we should be grateful for. But learning about things that you actually have an interest in, like a hobby or a language, suddenly becomes fun when it's not for school or not like related to school. I love learning Spanish from Duolingo. I like learning things for this podcast. I like learning things like about habits from nonfiction books. None of this is actually for school, but it's fun to me and I love it. You may not even be realizing that you're actually learning stuff. So you learn like a new so you can learn a new language, a new skill. Maybe you can read nonfiction. But just learn about things that are important to you, but maybe not relevant to school. And that's really important because most of the time, these kinds of things are things that will help you in ways in education school will not. School isn't going to teach you about hobbies. School isn't going to teach you about habits. School won't teach you a language as well as you can learn it on in your free time or on your own. You're definitely going to like learning better if it isn't for school. Knowing multiple languages makes you a more interesting person, and it's something that can really help you in life. Like knowing more than one language or maybe there's a certain period in history that you're really interested in. That's another thing. Learn about your ancestors. That's something I want to do soon, and that's really interesting. I think there's so much you can learn, and it can really help you in life. Same for skills or hobbies like painting, cooking, or sport. If you like paint or cook and you maybe like develop a little recipe or really good painting, and then like that is the most it girl thing I have ever seen. That automatically makes you seem like a really interesting person and like a really cool person. Learning an instrument is another really cool skill to have. Develop like a diverse skill set and have multiple hobbies that take up your free time instead of doom scrolling. Also, learn stuff. If you do that, then you can just like drop these random facts into a conversation and it automatically makes you seem like really smart and really interesting, and people are just gonna be like drawn to you. Kind of connecting to my last point is reducing your screen time. Screens are everywhere these days and they're a major part of our lives. You need to use some form of screens for school, for work, and if you have a bit of free time where you can play a game or you can scroll on social media, you want to get in touch with people, you gotta call them or text them. Literally everything's on screens. And I know I'm not the only person that thinks this and knows this. There are honestly much better things you can do with your time instead of spending it on screens. Like you could read or have a bit of me time to do some self-care or something like that. Like, okay, a lot of people get so preoccupied with school or work, or maybe you have a side hustle or hobbies or your family and your friends, just life in general. A lot of us forget to schedule time into the calendar for ourselves. And like that, it just isn't something we think about because there's too many other things to think about and spend our brain power on. But having me time is really important because no matter how well we do under pressure, or how well we do with managing stuff in our lives, we all need some time to recharge. Self-care is so important for your physical well-being and your mental well-being and really every part of you. You can go on a solo date, you can watch the sunrise or sunset, you can do an at-home spa day, you can bake something while like listening to music, have a journaling session, whatever you choose is fine as long as you like it. These types of things might sound dumb and you're just like, ugh, there's tons of better things I can be doing with that time. But reality is you can't serve others without serving yourself first. Fill your own cup first and then only will you have something to give others. These types of things, they give us a huge boost mentally and physically. Okay, so I'm pretty sure I got like insanely off track from my original point, which is that screens can ruin our mental health. But speaking in like actual terms, I don't know. The blue light emitted from screens can actually change the way our brain develops, and not in a good way. Our brain isn't done developing until the age of 25, and I know a good chunk of my listeners are under that. Too much screen time at a young age can lead to a thinner cerebral cortex. I think it's that, but it's like the outermost layer of our brain, and it's really important for, I believe, our memory, and it can also cause change issues in other parts of our brain. I know all the dopamine hits we get from being on screens can also permanently alter other parts of our brain, but mainly our reward system. It like gets screwed up because of all the dopamine and social media. It's just toxic for our mental health, and social media sucks besides Pinterest, and Pinterest is amazing. Just reduce your screen time and like get your life back. Choose to stop caring what others think and get your life back. I think I mentioned this in about every podcast episode now, but I refuse to care. I'm just one of those people. I refuse to care about literally anything. Everyone tells me I need to start caring more about stuff and life and just whatnot, whatever. But guess what? I don't care about that either. I don't care what these people think. And I feel like this really clashes with my obliger tendency because most obligers are seen as people pleasers, but that is the exact opposite of me. I am in no way a people pleaser. But I will say that even though many people, mainly my mom, actually no, not many people, just honestly, yeah, just my mom. I think I should start caring more about life to do better. I honestly think that I do a lot better because I refuse to care about literally anything. I think everyone should make it their New Year's resolution to care a little less and see the difference. Everything your brain thinks takes up brain power. Everything it obsesses over takes brain power. Everything you choose to care about takes brain power. A ton of it. And I'm realizing I'm making it sound like you should just go and become a really cold and heartless person this year. That's not what I mean. You should obviously choose to care about things that are actually important to you. You should care about things like school and your family and your friends and like relationships, I guess. If you have a job, you should probably care about that, your hobbies. Don't go and become a cold and heartless person who could not care less if everyone died. Care about what matters. What I'm talking about here is that tons of people in the world and people I know care about things that don't really matter. If you make just like one person get pissed off at you or flunk one test or eat one cookie, that's fine. It's not as much of a huge deal as you're making it out to be. Now you know how not to piss that one person off, how to not flunk a test, and a cookie ain't that much big of a deal. We all spend so much time caring about things that don't really matter. My motto, and something I will repeat to anyone who will freaking listen until the day I die, is do not worry about anything that won't matter in 5 years. That damn cookie ain't gonna matter in 5 years. Your grades might, your relationship with your family and your friend and your friendships might. They probably will actually. Your health will matter in 5 years. Focus on the stuff that really matters in 5 years because that's the stuff that's important and deserves just like you towards it. I don't know. Journaling can actually be really beneficial to your mental health. I went through a phase of attempting to develop a habit of journaling, but succeeded about 2 to 4 times a month at most. Regardless of its benefits, it simply wasn't relevant to me, and because of my obliger tendency, that made it even harder to start a habit of journaling. That has been proven to reduce anxiety and depression. To me, writing things down is just a good way of like clearing your head a bit. I remember I had 3 projects in school happening at the same time in 1 week. One project on its own is a ton of work, so 3 was absolute chaos, and all within the span of a week. And I think I spent 2 hours a day solely on project work. It was absolute chaos. So I made a master to-do list because I was flipping out about the sheer amount of work I had to do. So writing it all down just made me feel so much more in control, and it made it seem a lot less stressful because it was out of my head and onto paper everything I had to do. felt like the paper took away my problems, even though I didn't really get anything more done. I just wrote stuff down. So that's something I do when I'm stressed. I just do a brain dump of everything I have to do and all my thoughts, and just having that paper makes it seem a lot less problematic. Journaling slash brain dumping is something I do when there's about 400 million things I have to get done in a short period of time and I'm freaking out. If you think it'll help you, then you can definitely try it out. This might also be beneficial to introverted people who don't like talking to others about their problems. I'm definitely a talking person, but for introverted people, writing them out might work better. The simple daily journal prompt I tried is one thing you're grateful for, one thing you're happy about, like we do in the podcast, plus how you feel that moment or something you're looking forward to that day, just something random. Takes about 5 minutes, but you feel 5 times better afterwards. So that was all I had to say on like leveling up for 2025 and like becoming unrecognizable, both physically and mentally. I hope it was help. Now, to end our episode today, I have a quote for you guys from Steve Harvey. It goes, "It is never too late to reinvent yourself." Bye, guys. Rate, review, follow, and share this podcast. Please, please, please go follow me on Instagram. Drink some water, and I love you all.